Hey everyone, I know in the past when I've done these monthly recaps, I've kept it really only interesting and relevant if you're an active patron, but I'm going to change things up starting this year. And every time I do one of these recaps, I'm going to start with making one post that was previously accessible to patrons only, completely free to anybody that's interested for 48 hours. So if you've been eyeing my Patreon, if you've heard about me talk about it, just been curious about the kind of content that I post there, you can use the link attached to this video. It'll take you directly to the post that I'm making public for everybody, accessible, but only for the next 48 hours. The post that I'm going to make public is one of the earlier ones that I posted this month. It's all about SEO. And I actually dive into the really specific day-to-day stats of my actual business website and the tools that I use to monitor and adjust for keeping track of where I rank for keywords and sort of my overall strategy in dealing with SEO, which I know a lot of photographers struggle with. It's very confusing. It feels almost like its own job sometimes. I don't approach SEO that way at all. And I do very, very well for the keywords that I target. So right now that post is open for the next 48 hours. Like I said, check it out. You get access to the full entire post. But continuing with the actual purpose of this post being a recap for the entire month of December, I think I posted around 15 things. I have an entire holiday sales coupon breakdown strategy that I use. That's probably going to be more relevant next year, although it does apply for things like Valentine's Day and stuff that is coming up in just a month or so. We did three-step clicks this month. I gave away a Loupedeck CT. I gave away a Flashpoint Zoom XR2 flash, which is equivalent to the Godox V1. And I wrapped up the entire month with a three-step click where I gave away, and ended up being a Nikon Z6 II. Now, I don't just give things away to the three-step click winners randomly. You actually have to work for it a little bit. It is all voted on by patrons. You're expected to come up with a cool idea in your photo. So if you're interested, sometimes I do this publicly. Usually they're patrons only, but I'm trying to do three-step clicks as often as I can. My review of the MacBook M1, that was a big deal for me because I was so excited about it, but unfortunately there's one giant missing feature that I just couldn't deal with. There's also a deep dive into the new Lightroom color grading tools and how I use them along with my preset for specifically just that color grading module. If you haven't updated, I highly recommend it. I've been very, very happy with Adobe's overhaul of the split toning module. It now looks, I think, a lot more intuitive and affects and changes things in a way that I find much more natural and just easier to work around. Also posted a review of the new Canon 50mm f1.8 lens with a bunch of sample images, and any reviews of lenses especially. I always include raw files for patrons to download and play around with on their own, so check that out. And then I made a very deceptively long video all about my camera settings. 30 minutes long. I did add chapters and bookmarks to make it really easy to navigate and jump around, but it is entirely how I have my camera set up, one menu item at a time. It gets into a lot of depth and detail there, especially if you're new to the mirrorless world and you don't quite know how to set up face tracking and all the new autofocus features. That is really important to look through. I also did a review of the Monogram Creative Console. There's a lot of new controllers to have an actual tactile remote control to play around with. I did a review of that. And then wrapping up the entire year, December 28th, I posted a literal entire client wedding gallery. The entire thing that I delivered to an actual client, and I recorded a video walking through the entire gallery, kind of describing what was going on in certain scenarios and just giving you a sense of what a full wedding gallery looks like from me and how my clients experience the entire delivery process. So that's just a quick recap of all the content that I posted on Patreon in the month of December. I am running a special offer for this month on any tier that you're interested in joining. You get a secret link immediately emailed to you that has a video, one of the workshop aspects of my Signal Flow workshop, which spells out exactly how to start designing your own custom camera calibration profiles implementing a LUT, which totally revolutionizes and changes the color and the tone that you can get in Lightroom that just previously you never would have been able to. It's a really nice, in-depth, and easy to follow tutorial. So you get access to that immediately if you sign up at any point during this month. So hopefully you found that helpful. I'm trying to make these videos interesting to patrons and just people that like my work in general. Let me know if you have any questions at all. And as always, thank you so much for your attention. I'll be back soon. Bye.